I'll be talking about is a TENS unit. I did try this during my labor, but I do think I started it late. They do say that it helps much better in early labor or with back labor. I did not have back labor at all during my birth experience and labor experience, but I did have my husband get the TENS unit out while I was in active labor. I was probably around 6 centimeters, and it really didn't help me. It was more irritating to me, but with that being said, I've heard that it is amazing when you start it early, and it can help a lot with back labor. I'm going to be doing a video actually on back labor and positioning of baby. So if you're interested in a video like that, please subscribe and you'll get a notification when that comes out. So the next thing I'll be talking about is aromatherapy. This helped me a little bit. I actually, unfortunately, at the time of my own labor, couldn't find my aromatherapy machine and essential oils. It was in a box. So I had a little roller and a little sticky patch that I used, and that helped a little bit just for distraction. I use it more in the labor and delivery setting when someone is vomiting or farting or anything that causes negative feelings. Vomit can just smell really bad, and it just makes you more nauseated the more you smell vomit, I feel like. So in those situations, I'd put a patch, and that would help a lot, because then you're just smelling lavender or peppermint, and you're not smelling that vomit anymore, and it can decrease that vomit response. Verbal. So with verbal I'm talking actually about the laboring woman. So for me, I was vocal. I was very, very vocal, and that helped me a lot, because not only did that make me focus on my own voice and my own breathing, which helped a lot, but it distracted me. So honestly, I know it can seem embarrassing, but be vocal during your labor and your birth. If that helps you, try it. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. Some women really need that calm, serene, quiet atmosphere. But me, I'm that Bon Jovi kind of girl. And so I need that loud music. I need to groan that baby out, and it helped so much. What I did actually was I would stuff, when a contraction was coming, I would stuff my face in my husband's shirt, so it would be like dark, and then having stuffed in his shirt, I could focus on my breathing, on the breath coming in and out, and my groaning. So I just really found that to be one of the most helpful things during my own labor experience. I have not had a lot of experiences of women being vocal, though. I will say I may have like a hand's worth of women I've seen be vocal during labor. I think it's partly due to embarrassment or awkwardness, or not being comfortable in the environment that you're currently in, but I honestly think it's worth a try. The next thing I did talk about breathing. I'm not gonna go right down into breathing, but the best way for me that I've noticed in my experience and watching other people with breathing is breathing, like thinking low, like think low into your lungs, think extending your lungs way out, deep breaths. I noticed that made me think a lot about it, and it would distract me a lot. And also it prevents you from hyperventilating and not getting enough oxygen into your body. I learned recently a really good way of breathing when you're hyperventilating to stop your hyperventilating is it's the opposite of what you think. So you think breathe through your nose, out your mouth, but it's breathe through your mouth, out your nose. So if you are hyperventilating or you're having a hard time breathing, breathe in your mouth, out your nose. That increases your oxygen consumption, and it will stop that hyperventilating, and it will distract you. So it works great all the ways around. Hypnobirthing. I just wanted to touch on hypnobirthing because it is relatively popular. I even looked into it for my own labor experience. I've never seen it in practice, not even as a birth doula. It's one of those very rare, unique educational opportunities where you're trained to really meditate within. And I'm told that it really, if it doesn't completely remove your labor pain, it decreases it drastically. Now, I honestly, the reason I didn't go into learning and practicing hypnobirthing is it does take a lot of time and education. I think the estimate was somewhere between 3 and 6 hours a day. You are actively doing the practices and the training for this hypnobirthing, and I think it's for a couple months. I'm going to add the link to hypnobirthing in the description below so that you guys can check it out if you wanted to know more information about it or you're interested in learning it yourself. If you happen to be the woman who wants to have like 10, 12 kids, then it totally may be worth it to you because you learn it once and you can use it for every baby. So there's that. But for me, I just didn't want to spend the time every day on it. So that is the labor pain hacks I have for you today. I am going to answer these next 3 questions. What do contractions feel like? Now, obviously, this is a hugely popular question, especially for you first-time mamas, because you're about to experience this, right? And you're like, what does this even feel like? I mean, everyone talks about it. Everyone says it's so painful, but what is it like? So I'm going to be honest. Every woman's labor experience is going to be a little bit different. The intensity, the frequency is going to change, but the similar feelings should be relatively the same. That being said, I think the major thing that I have connected it to is my own periods. So your menstrual cycle, that kind of cramping. Now, if you've been on birth control or you have really easy periods, then it might be hard for you to understand this. But for me, that kind of cramping is that same similar cramping that I had during my own labor experience. I have really bad periods, so my labor contractions were much easier than my period cramps. But I know that's not the case for everybody. But it's just kind of like a tightening, and it kind of like when you squeeze something, that's kind of what it feels like a little bit. Like when you're running cardio and you know you're not a runner like me, and you kind of get that side pain, that rib pain, if you've ever felt that, except in your belly, and it's lasting for like 30 seconds to 45 seconds really badly, and a little bit before and after that time. The length of your contractions will differ per person. Usually it's around 30 seconds to maybe 70 seconds. It really depends. But think of it, it's growing, the contraction. So the pain isn't like the worst pain ever for that whole minute. It's growing. So it's not too bad, not too bad, not too bad. Oh, that kind of hurts. That kind of hurts. Oh, not too bad, not too bad, not too bad, not too bad. So only for like a 30-minute, 20-minute, depending on how long your contraction is, seconds, is it really super painful. So that helped me a lot is when I was stuffing my face in my husband's shirt and I was thinking about my breathing and my groaning and all of that, I was also thinking it's only 20 seconds. It's only 20 seconds because the 10 to 15 seconds before and 10 to 15 seconds after were not that bad for me. It was that 20 seconds that I really needed to focus. So just to keep that in mind, that I hope that helps you. How to prepare for an unmedicated labor. Now, honestly, I would get these labor hacks down. I would also really go through the Spinning Babies website, learn about different positioning techniques, and have a kind of idea of what would be useful in different situations. This can be part of your support person's job, is really having Spinning Babies on their phone ready after a vaginal exam, and the nurse says, you are 3 centimeters, but your cervix is tilted to the right. And you can go, I saw that somewhere of what I should do if my cervix is tilted to the right. I should do left things. Left sideline release, left side peanut ball. All of that can really help, and that can give your support person that job so they stay busy and you don't have to be thinking about this during labor. The last thing I'm going to answer is how can my support person help? I did kind of answer that in the previous question and throughout the labor pain hacks. They're super important for emotional support, for massaging, for all of these different things. Like, who's going to get the ice? Who's going to put it in the Ziploc bag? That's all your support person. Literally, you are just snacking, going to the bathroom, drinking water, and getting through this labor. That is your job. And everything else, getting everything set up, should be your significant other or doula or whoever you are having on your special day. Just having this, though, prepared and ready for them can really help that day out. So I hope this labor pain hacks helped you. Let me know if any of them specifically helped you during your own birth process and delivery. And if you have any questions, please comment below. Bye.